Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for today's Friday Sews video, where I will talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing, and a little bit of life as well. Stay tuned to the end as always for some knitting and crochet updates. But thank you very much to Jen for the Friday Sews hashtag. I really enjoy these videos, and I haven't actually done one for 2 weeks because I have been away on my summer holidays, but I am now back and I have loads to share with you. So buckle up, buttercups, and let's go. So over the past 2 weeks I did have a couple of videos out for you which hopefully you enjoyed. I put out how I store my fabric and patterns, which is really good fun to make. I put out everything I made in July, and then I also put out a really fun hashtag called hashtag sewing questions, which is a really fun hashtag where you basically answer 20 questions about being a sewist, and it was really good fun. So hopefully I'll have linked all of them up here and down below as well if you didn't get a chance to watch those yet. But I'm back with the Friday Sews, which of course I love doing. I would also like to say a massive thank you to everybody who supports my channel. I am creeping very close to 8,000 subscribers, which makes me very happy. So again, a huge thank you to everybody who puts a like on my videos, who subscribes and just gives me the support every single week, and I really do appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed, now is a great opportunity, so thank you very much. So moving on, what have I been up to? So over the past 2 weeks I've been away, which is marvellous, but more on that later. When I left you Friday Sews 2 weeks ago, I had mentioned very briefly that I was going to have a sewing day with my lovely friend Orla. She is Sew What over on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram handle down below. She makes the most incredible bags. She is so talented. She really is. If you cast your minds back to January of this year, I believe, we made this sewing space station together, which is really good fun. So we knew that we were overdue another sewing day. So that day, it was a lovely, beautiful sunny day. It was glorious. So we met up and we sewed the same pattern together. So this pattern was very far out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to lie. It is a bag pattern, but it is unlike any bag that I've made before. It has a huge amount of pattern pieces. It has an awful lot of hardware. It has an awful lot of interfacing and decoville and stabilizers and rivets. So I was very worried about this, but I knew I was in great hands with Orla. So I was like the night before an exam, the night before, worrying about how I was going to make this bag, but I needn't have worried. I enjoyed it so much. So without further ado, I shall tell you what it is. It is the Scottie convertible bag, and it is by Kaur threads, and here's a picture of it here. So it's meant to be done in kind of vinyl or faux leather, things like that. It's got a beautiful panel at the front with 2 zips. Then it has a shoulder strap and it is a crossbody strap, which you then can convert into a backpack. So looking at this, you think, oh, it's a lovely handbag. That's great. But then you look at the pattern piece requirements, and it's an entire A4 sheet all the way here. So I was ticking them off, I was crossing them off, all that good stuff. The issue that I had, and I knew I wanted to make it in faux leather, and if you've watched my Paris vlog where I went to Paris early in the year, I'll pop a link to it up here. I bought these rolls of faux leather. In my head, I thought it was a metre. I don't know why I thought that, but in my head, I thought it would be a good amount to sell. In reality, they were 70 centimetres, which really caused me an issue. So I wanted to make the whole thing out of the beautiful bronze version. I couldn't, so I really had to think about how I was going to do it. In the end, I managed to get it in some parts faux leather and some parts I had to supplement with canvas. But the amount of time I took to think about which pattern I wanted, which pattern piece I wanted, which things I wanted to go where. But in this pattern, which is fabulous by the way, these are the instructions, but they're so good. It tells you exactly what every single piece is. So I was able to work out exactly which pieces I wanted to go where. So we met up and we started sewing. So will I show you the bag? I am so pleased with this. Here it is. I love it and I've been wearing it constantly. So I just made the shoulder strap. One, I didn't have enough for the crossbody or the backpack. I probably wouldn't wear it as a backpack anyway, but I really was keen to use the leather as the strap, and I just wanted to get as much out of the fabric as possible. And of course I was under serious time pressure because I think it was very soon before we went away on holidays, and I really wanted to get it finished. I definitely didn't want to leave it until I got back. So I just did the shoulder strap, which is perfect. So it's got a lovely shoulder strap with rivets as well. So Orla has one of those huge big rivet setter machines, the cam machines. They are brilliant. So I was able to do that. It's got a little lobster clasp here. Then of course I was able to do the faux leather on the sides and at the front, but then I did supplement it with canvas. So I got the canvas, all the hardware, all the stabilizer from Quilter and Stitch. So I'll link them down below. They have a fabulous bag section on their website. So this is the front, and this is the lovely canvas part. I put in a little handmade label here that is Little Rosy Cheeks, I believe. Then it's got 2 zips at the front, and they're both fully functional pockets. Of course, I've got Tula inside, that's one pocket, and then this is the other pocket. I've got this beautiful charm by Sarah Hart's, apologies for the glare, that I picked up at Stitch Festival. So it's got another lovely pocket in here. Then on the back, of course, this is just canvas. This should all be leather as well. It's got this beautiful snap pocket in here. So it's got the magnetic snap, and then that is fully lined. Then this has got a kind of a recessed zip here. So a lovely panel across the top. I've got a big long zip here that goes all the way out, a little tab at the end. And then the inside, this side has 2 slip pockets, which is bound at the top in the faux leather as well, and the beautiful Tula. And then on the other side, it has a welt pocket. And here's where I ran out. So I had to use green because this zipper panel here does have to be in leather because you top stitch it. So I just used green, which I think looks quite nice. So this again is a fully functional welt pocket. And my label here is perfectly imperfect because let's face it, it is not perfect, but it's my first attempt. So I loved doing this. I was very, very worried about top stitching the leather, but Orla helped me with that. She very, very kindly gave me a Microtex needle, and we had a look at the stitch length, and then of course she showed me how to pull the threads through so you don't back stitch. She then helped me use the lighter to get rid of the threads at the end, which scared me, but it's all good now. So it gives a lovely, lovely finish, and no back stitching or lumps and bumps. Of course there's lumps and bumps, but I'm not going to point them out to you. But it is just a fabulous, fabulous bag. The construction is really, really nice, and I messed up the construction. So I was doing this really rushed at the end of the day because I knew I had to come home to collect the boys, and I was rushing, and I kept wondering why they had you do the pocket and the lining in a certain way, and I couldn't figure it out. So I ploughed on in the way that I thought it should be. And then the next day, Orla said, I figured out why they wanted you to do that. Basically, you leave a hole in the inside welt pocket and you pull the whole lining through so you don't have any top stitch on the bottom of the lining. So I just top stitch this, top stitch the pocket, Bob's your uncle, but you're meant to pull the lining through so you don't get any lumps and bumps on the inside, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous finish if I'm explaining that in any way correctly. But I just love this. I'm so happy with it. I will definitely make this again. It is quite labor intensive, I'm not going to lie, but it is so worth it. So the only changes I will make the next time are, I still think I'll do the shoulder strap. I don't think I need the convertible strap. I will do it all in vinyl or faux leather. I think it would look really, really nice. I think I might put little feet on the bottom so you can stand up the bag. And the other thing is I would change the orientation of the zip. So I am right-handed, so I wear the bag like this. In the instructions, it has you put in the zip, so the zip finishes at the back, if you know what I mean. So the end of the zip is here. I prefer if the zip is at the front, so I think that's the only change I'd make. But the insertion of the zip is lovely as well, so you can see how it's tucked into the facing here. It's just beautiful. The instructions are fabulous. So this is my Scottie convertible bag, and I'm so delighted, and I'm so keen to make another one. I think like maybe coming into Christmas, a bright red one or something would be amazing, and maybe gold trim and everything. I think it would look gorgeous. But I had such a good day with Orla. I really, really did. Popping over to her Instagram, she made one in black with kind of pink neon zips and hardware. It looks stunning, so pop on over and have a look. But I had the best day. Sewing with friends is just amazing, and I'm so pleased with this, and thank you, Orla. I had the best day. So you will see more Scottie bags in future. So that was my bit of sewing before I went on holidays. Then we went away on holidays, which was just lovely. The weather was middling. Initially, the weather was not good for the first few days, which was a little bit discouraging, but then it warmed up and it got a little bit bright and sunny. My boys just loved playing on the beach every single day. They just loved it. I drank all the wine and I ate all the seafood, and it was marvellous, and we just had the best time. So I'll pop in a few pictures here of the things I wore on holidays, which were perfect. So I wore my Arden shorts, which I love, and I wore them with an Astaire tee. So that's my shorts with the little swans on it that I made in a stretch cotton, which is perfect for shorts, and just a black Astaire tee, which is lovely. I wore my summer Kai shorts in this beautiful green linen I got from Beyond the Pink Door. That's a Love Notions pattern, and I wore that with my Lobster Emmy t-shirt, and I wore it with my pink La Brea t-shirt, which I just love. I did wear my Fabric Godmother fleur dress, but I didn't iron it, and viscose linen when you're on holidays, probably not a good idea because it was slightly crumpled, but it was lovely and floaty and breezy, so I really did enjoy wearing it. And then of course I wore my beloved sepia pants, which I just love. I'm actually wearing them today, so I'll pop up and show you. These ones with all the fabulous print, so I was able to wear it with lobsters and all kinds of summery things, which I just loved. I love these trousers so much, I cannot tell you. They are just perfect for the summer. They're nice and breezy, even though they're in quite a heavy cotton. They were nice and breezy and nice and cool with the barrel leg. I just love them, and I think they go nicely with my green t-shirt. So the other things I found useful on holiday were, and this can be a supplement to my packing vlog that I put up a little while ago. I'll link it up here. I used my painter's tote from the lovely Luke. That was wonderful, going to the beach every single day where we built a lot of sandcastles. Pop up a picture here. I also used my Sew Over It tote pack that converts into a backpack, which was really handy. And of course my new acorn backpack, the Lego one, which it's still full of sand and shells. So that's really a sign of a good holiday, isn't it? So we had a very lovely time. We are now back to reality. Older French Seams went back to school this week. He's exhausted. We're getting back into reality, getting back into activities, washing school uniforms, getting up, making packed lunches, all that good stuff. I'm still clinging on to the end of summer. The weather is letting me down badly here, but I am still clinging on to the end of the summer. I'm not ready for autumn, even though it's my favourite season. I'm not ready for autumn, and I'm not ready to go back to reality after the summer holidays, but I really need to have a little talk with myself, don't I? So that was my summer holidays. So we really had a great time, and yes, I can't wait for our next holiday. What other little bit of sewing did I do? So I shall show you right now. So this week I went on to the Thready Set Go chat. It was wonderful. It was on Wednesday night. So I sign up to Thready Set Go, and you get an opportunity to go on to all the live chats and the all that on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I think. It's really great. And this week there was a chat by Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, Rosie and Alma from Sew Over It. It was so interesting. I really enjoyed it, and the conversation just flowed. It was just so interesting hearing what those ladies had to say. Amazing, inspirational ladies, love them. So Hayley does a wonderful job at those lives. So I knew that I'd be sitting there and mainly listening, so I wanted a little crafty project because I hadn't done any sewing in a long time, and I made this. So my lovely friend Sam, So Let's Sparkle, you know that phrase, if somebody says jump, you say how high? Basically, if Sam released a tutorial, I usually say, how many can I make? I get very excited. I love her tutorials. They're wonderful. So you'll have seen in my last video, I made these little pots, which I now use for scraps. So I made those. And then this week she had up a wonderful tutorial about how to make a quilted pouch. So of course, I'll link that down below. And I had this fabric, brand new, which I'll talk to you more about now shortly. And it's a little quilted pouch, and it's fully bound on the outside. So you can see my quilty, don't know, can you see them, squiggly quilted lines? I put some fusible fleece inside it, and then I've got this beautiful Beyond the Pink Door Little Rosy Cheeks label, I believe, that says the bee's knees. I think I might have put that label in upside down. I can't remember which way it's meant to go, but anyway, I thought the bees went nicely. Then a lovely stripy zip, and I realised when I made this, it perfectly fits my Kindle, which is just wonderful. So my Kindle fits nicely inside it, which is just fabulous. So wonderful tutorial. I would highly encourage you to take a look. This just has a gift November written all over it. It really does. It's a marvellous pattern. So really great. So that was my little bit of sewing this week. You know, when you come back and you haven't sewn in a long time, come back into your sewing room and say, hello old friends, and you have to get some sewing done. So following on from this was part of a rainbow fabric drop, and I got a delivery this week, and I shall show you what I got. So they have currently an end of summer 50% off sale, and they have some marvelous things on there. So use my code Rachel !VIP and that will get you the 50% off, and the sale is going to be running for I think at least another week, so be sure to check it out. That's an affiliate link. Thank you very, very much. But they did offer to send me some beautiful fabrics, so thank you very, very much. So you've just seen the cotton I got, and it is this Bee and Daisy cotton, which is just fabulous. Perfect for little crafty projects. I think it's really, really cute. I'll be making more things out of this for sure. The next one I got is a block print fabric, and it is lemon with blue stripes, which is just glorious. So it's a block print, so it's quite narrow, but I think it's probably too late in the summer now, but I think a little floaty shirt or something like this would be just beautiful. Imagine this with a pair of white jeans, a pair of white shorts. I think it would just be marvelous. So this is being earmarked for some sort of shirt or cover up for early next year, so I'm going to make these up very early next summer so I can get the benefit of them. Then the next one is this beautiful, I think it's called Watercolour Floral, and it's another cotton, but it's a little bit wider. And I think this would make the most magnificent summer dress. Although I was actually thinking this would make a marvellous pair of something like the Caroline pyjamas, I think by Closet Core, because you can make a little shirt and a little pair of shorts in this cotton fabric. I think it would look stunning. You could pick out one of the colours, do the piping. I think that would look glorious. And then the last one, when it arrived, I thought, oh, I think I have this already, but it's this beautiful blue and white one. So I have what's quite similar is my Forget Me Not Patterns Kelly dress in green, and this is a viscose crepe, and I love this. I've been wearing this all summer, absolutely adore it. And this is quite similar to this, even though this is a viscose. I think it's a modal viscose, but it's almost got a twill texture to it. But I think these are just beautiful. I think those patterns are just gorgeous. So this is, sorry Kelly, I've just dropped you. This is screaming out to be another lovely floaty summer dress early next year. I think it is just beautiful. It's just so pretty. And if you cast your minds back, I made a Style Arc Belle dress recently in a blue and white print, and I just love it, and I think this is just gorgeous. So delighted with these fabrics. So these are all washed, they're all dried. They were dried before the rains came, which is marvellous. So I'm very, very excited about those, and that can be my summer wardrobe for next year. Although, in saying that, I'm hoping we get a little bit more sunny weather in September, because if I don't make this into a dress, I'm thinking, because I love the sepia pants so much, I've made view A and I've made view B. View C is the elastic waist and just wide legs. How beautiful would this be in a pair of wide leg trousers? I think this would be lovely. So I'm wondering, can I eke this out in the last few days of summer if I can get a pair of swishy trousers, and then of course they'll be ready for next year. So fingers crossed, we'll see how the sewing works out. So that was my little bit of happy post. I have been buying a few little things for myself. They haven't arrived yet because I've just ordered them, and Cozy Club Handmade have just released their autumn labels, and they are just adorable. I'll pop in the picture here of the two ones I bought. So the ones I bought were Cup of Tea and Cozy Socks, which are adorable, and then the other ones, which are the brand new ones, they say sweeter than a pumpkin spice latte. And if you've been watching my channel, I love pumpkin spice lattes, so I just had to buy those labels. So they should be arriving soon-ish, and I will definitely show you them when they arrive. I think they are super cute. Maybe having a lovely PSL label will get me into the autumn sewing. We shall have to wait and see. So that was all the sewing and happy post. So what else do I have to talk to you about? Of course, Sew Phoenix September. So that is starting on Monday. We're kicking off the vlogger tour, and the first video is going to be an introductory vlog, and it's going to be over on the very lovely Sam Sola Sparkles Challenge. So Sew Phoenix September is being hosted throughout September by myself and my wonderful, wonderful friends Katherine Sewage and Makery and Sam Sola Sparkle. Popping a picture of us here from Stitch Festival, which I love. It's basically find a make in your sewing past, be that last year or 40 years ago, that you would like to remake with all the skills and the knowledge you have now, and you can make it all through September, post it all through September, tag the three of us and tag hashtag SewPhoenix September 25, and you could be in line for some fabulous, fabulous prizes. So thank you to those sponsors. The challenge is open worldwide, and we would love if you get involved. So thank you very much, and drop me a note below if you've got any questions on that challenge. For sure, I'll be happy to answer them. And of course, I will put a link in down below as well. The lovely Katherine Sewage and Makery was on Stash Chats this last week with Yvette from Stash Hub, and she was talking all about her stash and her fabric, but also a little bit about Sew Phoenix as well. So I'll link that down below. She did marvellous in that interview. It was just wonderful to see her. So that's about it for the sewing chat. If you do not want to listen to me talking about knitting and crochet, then I will say goodbye now, and thank you very, very much for watching. I hope I didn't keep you too long, but as you can see, I'm very excited to be back with you lovely people. You can head off now, and I will see you very, very soon in another video. But if you would like a little knitting and crochet update, let's do this. Knitting. No update on my Scottie socks. They have slightly been pushed to the sideline because we are now at the business end of the crochet because we're in week 5. So the knitting has slightly taken a backseat. But this week, West Yorkshire Spinners released their Christmas yarn, and it is beautiful. It's a sparkle yarn, popping a picture here, so it's ever so slightly glittery. I did get their one this year, a stitch, and that was the one that was released a couple of years ago, and the sparkle isn't itchy or anything, it's wonderful. But this year's one is sparkle, and it's called Mulled Wine, and it's a beautiful mix of kind of ochres and russets and reds and stuff. It's not self-striping, but it's a beautiful tonal colours, absolutely gorgeous, and I am absolutely going to be buying that yarn. And I was talking to my very, very lovely friend Cindy, who is a fabulous knitter and crocheter, absolutely amazing. And we were talking about potentially making those socks for Christmas. So we are going to have kind of an advent cast on, an advent knit. Basically, we're going to cast on a pair of socks very early December or maybe even late November, we'll see. And then they'll be ready for Christmas Day. So we're going to do that. And we'd love if any of you would like to join with us. Like the crochet, I'm going to set up a little group over on Instagram, and you are very, very welcome to join, and we can support each other. I know this isn't until December, but we do need to start thinking about these things. But keep it in the back of your mind. If you do have any inclination to make some Christmas socks, please let me know. So that's my plan for that, and that is my knitting update. So onto the crochet. We are now in week 6. So I haven't spoken to you about this in a number of weeks. So when I left you last, I think we were on week 4, and that was the panel in the middle that says Trick or Treat. And this was done through intarsia and tapestry crochet. I'm showing you the right way I am. So this says Trick or Treat, and this was so tricky, pardon the pun. It was all counting, and it was all carrying threads, and it was multiple balls of wool, and oh my goodness, it was so tricky, but it was lovely to do when I was on holidays, and I got it done, and I'm very, very happy. And it looks pretty good on the back as well, I must say, with my tapestry, so I'm quite happy about that. So this was the panel that we had to get done for week 4. Then week 5, which was released while I was on holidays, is the blood. So that was all the panel all the way along the outside, these kind of dripping blood panels, which is kind of fun. And then these little bubbles, they're surface bubbles. And then you also have to put surface bubbles on the cauldron as well. The pattern calls you to put some bubbles on the bubbling stuff and then some on the ore. I think it's very, very difficult to read that ore as it is without putting bubbles on it, so I just did a few sporadic bubbles here to show it's a bubbling cauldron, so I didn't go too far. I didn't really follow the pattern for that, but I'm very, very happy with how this came out. So this is the full centre panel now with the Trick or Treat and the blood and the bubbles. Then of course we had to sew the whole thing together, so I just crocheted it, I just slip stitched it all together, so it's got the whole thing all together. I'll pop a picture because it's now getting too big to show you. Then week 6, and this is the final border. So I've done a little bit of it already. So you can see here it's the grey border all the way along the outside. You can see I've almost come to the finish of it. These are going to be itty bitty pumpkins. So they're little orange bubbles, and in the next round they're going to have green stalks, which is adorable. So there's millions of them. You can see my tension is just not good, but the less said about that the better. So these are going to be all the pumpkins around the outside, and yes, the next round is going to be the stalks, and then the final thing we have to do is the cobwebs, and they're going to be attached all the way along the outside, along the 4 edges, and they're beautiful little crochet cobwebs. They look gorgeous. Older French Seams over the summer has been reading Charlotte's Web. He now wants Charlotte's to go in the web as well, so I'm going to see can I make little teeny weeny spiders to go in the webs as well. You do what you need to do, don't you? So this, and then when I show you this next week, hopefully it will all be done, and I'll have my label attached and the whole thing will be done. I really, really enjoyed this blanket. I really did. There was an awful lot of work in it, but I'm so happy with how it came out, and my boys are delighted, which really makes it all worthwhile. But I'm so pleased with this. So let me know how you're getting on, if you're doing the blanket as well, or if you're tempted to do this now that you've seen my version. But yeah, it's just been really, really good fun. Really loved it. So that is my Halloween crochet. I know it's end of August or September and I am crowing a Halloween blanket, but can we talk about Christmas for a second? Because my lovely sister, I've spoken about her here before, she is a fantastic crocheter. She made my boys beautiful blankets when they're born. She's just amazing. And we've been talking for a long time about making ourselves Christmas jumpers. And I think I saw this pattern on the lovely Liz, the baker that sews. She put up this pattern months, if not years ago. And I remember saving it saying, that looks really nice. I wonder, could I try that? This year, myself and my lovely sister are going to make matching Christmas jumpers and we're going to crochet them. So we ordered the wool. We got it from Wool Warehouse and it arrived. And I would like to show you the colours because they are just fabulous. So we have 3 colours to make that jumper, sweater, and here they are. And they're just beautiful. Random bit of fluff. Aren't they just glorious? So a Christmas red, a Christmas green, and a lovely, it's kind of an off-white, it's not a white wool, and it's this beautiful superwash wool. It's absolutely beautiful. So I am so excited to be starting this. So we're going to start this relatively soon to get in time to wear the 1st of December. We're both very big Christmas fans. So that is going to be another little crochet thing that's going to keep me occupied when I finish my Halloween blanket. I've got an awful lot of work to do, don't I? I've also been thinking about my Christmas quilt, but I'll wait another few weeks before sharing those thoughts with you. So I think that is everything for the time being. I hope this video wasn't too long. Thank you very, very much if you stayed to the very, very end of it. I really do appreciate it. I love talking about sewing and crochet and knitting and all the good things. And I really, really do appreciate you spending the time with me. So thank you. If you like this video, I would very much love it if you could give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I would love to have you along as I eke towards 8,000 subscribers. I hope you're all well. I hope we're all getting some time for some lovely, lovely sewing. If you would like to leave me a comment in the comment box below, letting me know what you're working on, or if you have any questions or comments on anything I spoke about to here, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will come back to you again very, very soon with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.